Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And if you're wondering why we are filming this on the old couch that we used to film our vlogs way back when, well, that's quite a tale. Because you see, our plans to film a lot of content during quarantine got, upended. When some plumbing problems reared their heads. So between the repair people and the water department and having to vacate our closets because they got flooded, this place has been pretty much unfilmable for the better part of a week. So
yeah, let's put it this way. There is a hole where our driveway used to be.
Yeah.
Like it's that bad.
Yeah, because it wasn't just one plumbing problem, it was two. It was one that with our connection to the actual sewer system, and our fucking water heater died and then spilled water over everything.
Yep.
So
we've been dealing with that for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, so not only has the place been a mess, so we haven't been visually able to film, it's also been loud as fuck with all the repairs going on, so... Yeah. That's why, despite me saying in the last vlog we were going to film a whole lot of vlogs, that's why we haven't filmed one up until now.
Yep.
We had to wait for things to die down and for us to be able to put things away. And as you can see, since we're on this couch, the other couch is kind of a mess at the moment.
Yeah, we've had to basically redesign the living room.
Yep.
You know?
There's been a lot of changes as a result of that.
But speaking of things going into the shitter...
Yes! We did happen to sit down, though, and watch a bunch of horror movies, one of which was Glenn Danzig's Verotika. Which, if ever there was a movie to watch while our shitter's on the fritz...
Yeah.
It is a movie that is pure bullshit.
Oh my god. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, back in the 90s, Glenn Danzig published a comic called Verotika, and it was basically horror porn.
Yeah, basically.
You know, it's pretty good. The comic itself was middling to sometimes really good, because it would often have stories that were written by real authors. There would occasionally be like a Joe Hill story, or Joe Lansdale, or, Straub, or, Harlan Ellison.
It was probably before Joe Hill, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, Joe Hill's the kind of guy who, you're right, it was before Joe Hill, but his kind of stuff would be the one that would be the type that would be in there. Unfortunately, none of those higher end stories are in this movie.
No, I'm pretty sure the only ones that he himself wrote were in this story. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong about that.
Well, it said written and directed by Glenn Danzig.
Exactly.
So if he's going to take the credit, he's going to take the blame.
Now, if you want to know why that is so bad, if you haven't read the comic, first off. Second off, if you want to know why that's so bad, Glenn Danzig isn't exactly a writer. He's a singer-songwriter. He's most famous probably for either his song Mother, which was an anti-PMRC song, which is a classic fucking song, or famous for being the original lead singer of the Misfits. Back in the early days.
Yeah. Both of which are very good.
Yes.
Like his
music career is great. Well, up until a point. Eventually, his solo career became bullshit. But that's
yeah. But like we can't take away the years where it was excellent.
We can't take away the classics.
Yeah. Like everything up to and including Black Aria, in my opinion, is really good.
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
And I would actually say it maintains its goodness a little bit after that. But yeah, at some point, it just kind of goes downhill.
So as a musician, he's great, which is actually one of the places in which this movie is actually pretty solid. I like his score, and I like all his music choices throughout.
Yeah. Those are good.
But in terms of actually writing, like character, story development, like anything that involves a narrative, it's complete bullshit.
Yeah. He's not Rob Zombie.
No, he's not Rob Zombie.
He's not Rob Zombie.
People give Rob Zombie shit because I think this is the way people... watching this movie was probably... The way I thought about Glenn watching this movie is probably how a lot of people think about Rob Zombie, but they don't realize how bad it can be.
Yeah.
Until they see this movie. Yeah.
Like, if this movie... Like, let me put it this way. With these same concepts done by Rob Zombie, this movie would have been exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, it would have been great. It would have been great.
It would have been amazing.
Because none of the story ideas... Because there's 3 main stories.
Yeah, it's an anthology film.
None of them are bad on the surface. They could all be structured into something better, but they're just so horribly executed, and some of which forget to actually include a story.
Yeah, like now the thing is that this anthology has 3 segments, and they go from least boring to most boring.
Yeah. The first one is the best. The last one is the worst. And it's not because there isn't interesting stuff happening. It's because it's executed in such a boring way.
Yeah. Now, when we say that the first one is the best, that's on the scale of the rest of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
We're
The
definitely
first one,
giving it on a curve.
The first one is only so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It reaches that level of this would have been great on MST3K. Like, it reaches that level. The rest would be boring even for MST3K to cover.
Yeah. Like, the first one is, like, as bad as laughably awful as, like, some random movie trauma picked up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Fatty Ride drives the bus or something. But the other two, I can imagine, like, even Lloyd Kaufman going, like, I'm kind of going to give this one a pass. I don't know if we can sell this.
Even on the scale of, like, fucked up movies, because, like, I expected this movie to be fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Given that it's Glenn Danzig, given it's an adaptation of that comic, and given that it's called Verotika.
Yeah.
I expected it to be super fucked up, but the one that was the most fucked up really was the first one.
Yeah, and now, all right, you know what? Fuck spoilers, because, like, I don't think you can spoil this movie, because, like, nothing happened.
All right, well, we will put spoiler warning right here, then.
All right, so the first one starts out, it's about a girl with eyes for nipples.
Yes, but that is not the story.
That's not the story, yeah.
She has eyes for nipples, but this is treated as the most normal thing in the entire story, because what the actual story is she has eyes for nipples, gets rejected by a guy because she has eyes for nipples, cries from said nipples.
From her eye nipples.
And the tears from her eye nipples ends up landing on an albino spider, which turns into a dream demon that appears when she sleeps and ass fucks and then kills women.
Except he has no penis.
But that's what he says he does.
Yeah.
We're supposed to just believe it.
He's like, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass and I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, like, he doesn't fuck the girl in the ass, he just kills her. It's like, I think he forgot a step.
Now, here's the thing. What makes this one the best is that, first off, it's the most weird and fucked up. Like, the albino spider person.
It's got novelty value.
The albino spider person is great. The fucking eye nipple thing is weird. And it's got an actual story. Okay, she's created this weird dream demon. Now she's got to stop it before it kills all the women around her. Got it. Okay, there's an actual narrative there. Unlike the third story.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But the thing that really holds this one back above all else is that it's obvious that all the actors in it are all French and they don't speak good English.
No.
So unlike Sukiyaki Western Django, which kind of did this thing where it had all these Japanese actors that don't speak English phonetically pronouncing English in order to create the same feel of like a spaghetti western and the weird disjointed dialogue.
Yeah, where there's an intentional, and you know it's intentional because when they start filming Quentin Tarantino, he's speaking English, but he's speaking it like an Italian actor speaking English.
Exactly.
You know?
Unlike that movie where that felt 100% intentional, in this movie, it just felt like the actors weren't good enough to speak in a language that wasn't their own.
Yeah, and this is something that's consistent throughout like all three stories because like let's listen to let's give you some highlights. Pasico as opposed to psycho.
Yeah.
What? You're a Pasico bitch. Whoa, back up. What did you just say? Nah, don't do another take. Nah, perfect. Haven't you ever heard of suspension of disbelief?
Now, when we watch this, because of all the loud noises that's been happening around this place, we've been keeping subtitles on everything that we watch. So we luckily had subtitles on just by default when we were watching this. And had we not, I wouldn't have been able to discern what some of these people were saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my favorite being, virgin.
Virgin. Oh, she means virgin.
Oh, virgin.
Okay.
Oh, like, what the fuck?
I had no idea what she was saying in a minute. Context clues kind of clued me into the virgin thing, but without those, I would have been lost.
and the acting is middling to... Oh my fucking God!
The best acting is the over-the-top people that kind of know what they're doing. They know what they're in.
The guy playing the spider, even though like his accent was a little indecipherable,
he was still the best one.
Yeah, he was. You could at least look at that guy and you're like, all right, you're playing. You're playing a rape spider. You know what movie this is.
The lead in that segment was just god awful.
Yeah, she's
like terrible. I felt so bad for her, and I found out afterwards that she actually came from porn and not like actual acting as most of the cast had. she came from porn. But Jack had when we were watching the movie, Jack mentioned that, like, oh man, this acting's worse than porn acting. Well, it turns out it actually is porn acting.
Yeah, and oh man, like, I don't, also, like, for something called Verotika, there's really not a lot of eroticism.
That's a huge problem with the movie, because, like, if we actually had a lot more of the eroticism, that'd be great. The second and third segments try to add more eroticism to it than the first one did.
Yeah, but it's just boring.
But it's done so boringly. Like, the second segment is set primarily in a strip club, but like 50% of the segment is just these really boring static shots of the strippers stripping. And I don't know how to put this. It's strippers stripping and it's boring.
Yeah. Yeah, and like another good way of putting it. So the second one is about a stripper that steals people's faces.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything.
She's got like the classic, her face is scarred, so she cuts people's faces off and wears their faces and then strips with a mask on.
Yeah, and now here's the thing. They don't really go into why she takes their faces off, because you're thinking like, okay, so she takes their faces off and then like sews their faces onto her face or something. She
just wears them and then takes them off and then switches them every night. It's weird.
Yeah, and you've got a main actress, you've got an entire cast of strippers who can't act and a main actress who can't strip.
Mm-hmm.
She
actually could act. She actually could act. It's an over-the-top acting. It's the kind of acting you would expect in like a B movie.
Yeah.
But she actually can act. Unfortunately, she can't strip. And that's like a huge part of her character.
Yeah.
So like put it this way. The professional strippers that were obviously hired to play all the background strippers, when we're focusing on them, the camera is so boring that their stripping becomes boring. When we focus on the lead actress, she doesn't know how to strip, so it doesn't matter how interesting the camera is that it's boring.
Yeah, because you're just like, I don't know how you strip and don't take off clothes. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That's the other weird part. I expected this segment to have a lot more nudity. I can only assume that some of the actors and actresses just had, like, no nudity clauses, so he just had to work with what he did.
Yeah, which makes me go, like, if you were already going to hire porn... Look, if you were already going to be like, well, I'm just hiring porn actresses, well, then why not just keep doing that?
Because when you get to the third segment, there's a shit ton of nudity.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's the most boring one.
Well, that's because the first two segments had a semblance of a story. Okay, so you had the first one where you have the dream demon and she has to stop the dream demon. That's an albino spider. It's weird. It doesn't quite make sense, but it's a narrative. The second one has the cop who's trying to hunt down the person who's killing the women and taking their faces.
Yeah, and he magically solves the crime.
Yeah.
Too,
it does. It's not done well, but there is a narrative there.
Yeah.
There's a protagonist, antagonist, and there's a conflict. The third segment is literally just a rendition of Elizabeth Bathory's crimes.
Yeah.
Without any main character, narrative, or antagonist.
Correct.
So, like,
it's just a girl. It's just someone. It's just like that. It's like that one scene from fucking Hostel where the girl is like bathing in that other girl's blood for fucking 20 minutes. It's not done as well.
Well, because in Hostel, you care about that girl who's being killed because you followed her. You know who she is. So she's a character that you care about who's being murdered. It's filmed in a very interesting and erotic way.
Yeah.
To make it super fucked up. It actually gets in and gets out at the right times. Like, it's actually paced well. You compare that to every single scene in this third segment because it's not a story. It's a collection of, let's cut to her killing this girl. Now cut to her killing this girl. Now cut to her killing this girl. Okay, she's sitting on the throne, the end. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. There is literally no story here.
And half of it is just a static shot that lasts, I swear, for like 3 minutes of her just like covering herself in the blood.
Yeah.
But like not in like a super erotic way, not in a super interesting way, and it's just boring. And what makes it unintentionally hilarious is that in this shot in particular, where she's just covering herself in blood, which is a 90% of this goddamn segment is this one shot.
Yeah.
In the background is the girl she's killed, who she didn't even kill in this segment. Someone else killed her and she walked in.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get to see her killed, so it's boring in that regard. She's sitting there with her wrist slit, tied to like the end of the fucking bath, trying her hardest to pretend to be dead, but you can see her eyes moving underneath it, and you can occasionally see her like twitch because she's getting uncomfortable and needs to move.
Yeah.
because the shot is static, so there's no moment for her to like breathe and then get back to the shot. You know?
Yep. It's a nice, long, static camera shot.
And every time she does that, it like completely kills any verisimilitude you'd have for the scene.
Yeah, not that you had much to begin with,
no.
mind you. But yeah, that.
And again, it's a girl bathing in another girl's blood, but it's filmed in this boring static shot that's not interesting in the slightest. The most interesting thing about the shot is literally the bath itself, which looks awesome. It's like a collection of bones and like random.
Yeah. Some of the props look really cool, you know?
That's it.
I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to give, this is the first time I've used this rating, but I think I'm going to give it to this movie, which is this sucked like Christian rock.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because there's things about it that I think are awesome. I think the albino spider outfit is pretty fucking awesome. I think some of the props are pretty awesome. I liked the actual score that he did for it. I wish there was more happening with the score happening, but I liked it. I liked the soundtrack. I liked the first story in theory.
Yeah, theoretically, like, I couldn't explain to you, like...
I don't know what was up with the eyeball tits.
Yeah, like, I found myself going, like, shouldn't that be the movie? Shouldn't that be the story?
This is what I wish. I wish more of the segments had weird elements like that were unexplained. Because I think it would add
that would at least
value.
been something.
It would have added entertainment value if all these stories were like these stories. They're like, okay, it's a normal fucking story. Okay, this is just Elizabeth Bathory. Oh, this is just a face ripper killer. Okay. But they would all, I wish they all had it like a random weird element.
Yeah, but it turns out she has a nose for a pussy.
Something,
you know,
like, yeah.
Well, like, this whole goddamn thing, like, I was expecting something at least as good as Faust Love of the Damned, because, like, that's the definition of a good bad movie.
When we started this movie, we were like halfway through the first segment, and I said something to the effect of, this is actually not as bad as I expected. Because I was expecting something like Slaughtered Vomit Dolls or like the Necromantic series.
Yeah.
I was expecting that level of just complete trash. But it was actually a little bit more high quality than that. By the time it ended, I realized that, it's not bad like those movies. It's just boring.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it all of the bad acting is not what makes it a bad movie. The nonsensical plots don't make it a bad. It's just fucking
Strangeland is a better movie than this.
Oh,
D. Snyder's movie is better than this.
Dude, that's harsh.
I know.
That's fucking harsh.
Like,
but
the only thing this might have over Strangeland is there is a lot of tits in this.
Yeah.
But again, they're filmed really boringly. So, like, you get bored of the nudity. Like,
yeah. I'm sure a better artist, a better filmmaker could take at least that first segment and make it into a real story.
Oh, yeah.
Like a real movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, man, maybe like Joe Begos or something.
First thing I would have done is at least cast a bunch of people, like, either film it in French.
Yes.
Or cast people that can actually speak English.
Yes.
Because that would probably fix a whole lot of, like, the weird, disjointed part of that segment. You can at least get more invested in the characters if the acting is better.
Yeah.
The second segment just needs a fucking rewrite because it doesn't even make sense. You're just like, he just all of a sudden knows that she's the killer. And you're like, how? Like, I get that he figured out because of the card he found on the ground that, okay, the killer is probably located in the strip club. I do not understand how he determined it was that stripper in particular.
Yeah,
he just walks in and knows. Like,
yeah,
maybe he interrogated that bouncer at the beginning. Like, I don't know.
It could be. I mean, like, there's not even a throwaway line about, like, how do you know that's her? Because she's wearing someone's face!
Yeah, I spent the entire second half of that segment feeling like I missed something. Because I was just like, how does he know?
How does he know who this woman is? You know, like, this just comes out of nowhere.
The third segment needs an actual story attached to it. Like, I get that you want to, like, recreate the Elizabeth Bathory murders. That's fine. But at least give it a story. Like even if it's a story of her descent into madness, that'd be something. You know?
Yeah. Like, it oh, man. I feel like I gave, like, I gave Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors too much shit, man. Like,
in terms of music artist movies, I will take Bones or Hood of Horrors over this.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, stuff happens. And at least Snoop Dogg is wearing like a redonkulous outfit.
I still contend though, like someone like Rob Zombie is the high bar.
Oh yeah.
Like you can shit on Rob Zombie movies all you want. He at least understands what a narrative is, what dialogue is, and what characters are.
No. If he had like, I would have watched like Rob Zombie's Verotika.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd probably have really good things to say, but yeah, this is
the
bad.
Gwar movies are better than this.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. On all levels, Gwar movies are better. On every single
I'll watch Scooby-Doo meets Kiss over this.
Phallus in Wonderland. Skullhead Face. Fucking, oh god, what was that other one? Another Gwar, one of the other Gwar movies. Get them on DVD. They're on Amazon.
Like, and there's also just a lot of really badly executed moments. Like, probably my favorite bad moment is there's a point in which in the second segment, the person who steals people's faces, she sneaks up on the cop that's hunting her. She sneaks up behind him and cuts his face. So he freaks out and shoots in front of him, which somehow hits her.
Yeah.
And she runs off. And I'm like, but wait, she was behind him in the... What the fuck just happened?
Yep.
And then it cuts to 6 months later and she's got bullet wounds. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how did he hit her? He shot forward. She was back here in the previous shot. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's like bad staging 101 right there. Like,
yeah. There's a lot of, oh god, yeah, no, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like, whoa. There's just no excuse for this.
No. You know, like, I get you're working with a lot of amateurs, you're hiring a lot of porn actors. I'm guaranteeing that for the second segment, you've hired a lot of actual strippers because they actually seem to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I know that you're dealing with a lot of amateurs you're working with, but goddamn, you could have at least filled the rest of this fucking team with people who knew what they were doing.
Yeah, well, like, this doesn't even really wouldn't make a very good, like, midnight movie either, because it gets so boring.
No.
You know, it's not like someone compared it to The Room, and I was like, well, no, the problem is that The Room is so bad, you're on the edge of your seat wondering what the fuck's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
You know, but this, you're just like, oh my god, is the movie over yet?
Like, there's a nugget here that Danzig might be able to get better in future projects, but, like, he really needs to surround himself with better people if he's going to do that. To overcome his shortcomings as a filmmaker.
Ooh, shortcomings. You're talking about Glenn Danzig.
Glenn Danzig, because he's short.
Oh, man.
Anyway, my fellow Gorehounds, to give you a brief update, because we haven't been able to film anything because of the circumstances, I've been spending most of this quarantine editing the new Blood Splattered Cinema, which should be happening soon, thankfully. It finally feels like it's coming together after months and months of me working on it, so that's good. I always feel so bad when it takes long to work on these episodes, because when you actually put them out, it doesn't seem like there was a lot to them.
Yeah,
but there's like a lot of hidden stuff I'm doing behind the scenes that's making it take a long time.
There's a lot of which one is this again? Because we filmed like a couple.
This one is The Brain.
The Brain.
The Brain. We have a couple others that we filmed that I'm going to be working on after this, but the current one I'm working on.
That was an easy one to film, but you could kind of tell that it was going to be a bitch in editing.
The thing that makes me feel most bad about it is that a huge chunk of my Brain script, like, has jokes about the fact that it's finally on Blu-ray. Now, this will tell you when I wrote the script, because it came out on Blu-ray early last year.
Yeah.
And we filmed it last year. So now I'm putting it together. I'm like, oh, these jokes are kind of dated now. Oh, well, I'm just going to roll with it because I do not have time nor the ability to refilm shit right now. So
yeah. Just go with it. Move on forward. If Tide Pods show up, fuck
maybe.
You. Yeah.
So I'm working on The Brain. It's coming together. I am going to have it out either later this month or next month, depending upon how fast the rest of it edits together. But it's actually coming together a lot faster now. I kind of overcame a lot of the hump that was taking a long time. All last month, I was just fixing the audio.
Ooh.
And shit. And so that took a long time. But I got it working. And Jack's been working on his Twitch stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved the Twitch stream into another room.
Necessary given all the noise.
Yeah.
And also all the mess.
Yeah. It's been bad. Fuck it. We're just talking about random shit. You can find me on twitch.tv/count_Jackula, where I stream at 6 p.m. most days, but always on Thursday and always on Sunday.
That has been one of the benefits of him moving into the other room, is that it's given him the opportunity to film more regular, or to
stream more regularly
now. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, which, let's be fair, why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's at count_Jackula.
Absolutely.
There's a pattern.
And y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. And while you're here right now, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of Verotika if you've seen it. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't, ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help my channel more directly, or help his streaming more directly, then check out our Patreon pages. And remember that even $1 a month can go a long way. And with all that said, my fellow Gorehounds, we saw another movie we're going to record a vlog for, so we're going to go do that.
I had a sad boner.
That's the worst kind of boner.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't think that's what they meant by say, like, oh, it's winking, it's crying.